Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this exciting panel discussion on optimizing school operations and mentoring with AI. In today's rapidly evolving education landscape, schools are increasingly looking towards technology to streamline their operations, enhance learning experiences, and offer personalized mentorship to students. AI has proven to be a transformative tool not only in automating administrative tasks but also in offering data driven insights for school management, improving efficiency in areas like admissions, student engagement, and even teacher training. So, let's dive into this conversation with our esteemed panelists and discover how AI can reshape the future of education. Today, we are honored to have Greshma Momaya. She is a leading education expert with extensive experience. She is a renowned keynote speaker and trainer, holding a bachelor's in human development, a postgraduate diploma in school counseling, and a Harvard certification in school leadership. Her extensive roles include teaching, coordinating, and leading in various educational settings. Greshma is known for her innovative practices and launched Empower with Greshma for e-counseling. She has received numerous accolades, including being named Best Preschool Principal India in South, and serves as an ambassador for child abuse prevention and educational initiatives. We welcome you, ma'am, to this panel discussion.
Thank you so much, Roshali. Thank you.
Also, we are joined today by the co-founder of Gravitas AI, Mr. Aarsh Srivastava, who is a business and AI strategist and has consulted multiple organizations in setting up their business strategy. We welcome you, sir, to today's panel discussion. Okay.
Sorry, I was muted. so
Yeah.
thank you, Roshali, for hosting both of us, and we're really looking forward to have a very interesting panel discussion with Greshma.
Pleasure is all ours, sir. Now, let's start with a short and exciting opening keynote. So, the first question in the segment would be that why is now the right time for schools to start integrating AI into their operations and student mentoring programs? We can start with you, Greshma ma'am.
Okay, lovely. Thank you so much, Roshali, for that question. And all the viewers and listeners who are watching this live, I would suggest it would be nice to keep a diary and a pen with you, because I'll be giving out some tools that can be used in different purposes. Okay, so first one is why I feel that it's the right time to start using AI. I have two points on this. First one is post pandemic digital shift. Now we all know that pandemic has really pushed all the schools to go digitally and adopt digital tools rapidly. We didn't have a choice, let's be very honest about it. So they've become, I feel, now after pandemic, I feel already the teachers, educators, school leaders have become more receptive towards innovations like AI. At least they are exploring. Before pandemic, technology was not so kind of received with the educational fraternity. So I feel it's a very natural progression where schools can further enhance their administrative purposes, and give hybrid learning models, and streamline their operations, and of course give personalized support to the students. So that is one reason why I feel it is the right time. The second one is being global competitiveness. Now, see, even when you look at the 21st century framework, the framework and the 21st century skills, the entire document is created not just by the educators, right? It is also created by the business experts. It is also created by people who are working in the industries, right? And industry experts. So, eventually, it is the industry that we are looking at, like, the work industry. Now, today the industries have adopted AI, right? And they are adopting at a very, very rapid pace. So, as a school leader or as an educator, I think it is our responsibility to prepare our students for AI driven future. I mean, like pandemic, I think now we don't have a choice but to accept AI and see how it can be enhanced. So, I feel the time to embrace AI is now.
I totally agree with Greshma ji, and it's very important that we understand that with the digitization, with AI, like using artificial intelligence, a lot of problems can be solved, and not so happily, but the pandemic has taught us many things in terms of how we should change our ways and how we can actually optimize our time and effort. So, why it's the right time? Because the technology is getting more ripe. So initially, the technology was available. It was being used in piecemeals with different sort of challenges, with a lot bit of more effort and cost to be spent. But now, with more advancement, it is more readily available. It is being understood easily, and it is being received. So basically, if an entity is started thinking about implementing or possibly putting AI as into their business strategy documents, then definitely there's some value attached to it, because the end users are more receptive. They are utilizing artificial intelligence day in day out with certain tools or applications which they use generally, or through some sort of operational chatbots, or maybe the kind of Alexas and Google Homes as well. So the consumption has increased. The understanding of how that whole stuff is coming through is also increased. So the appetite is increased in terms of consumption. So there's a very big opportunity to encash that increased appetite, increased hunger to consume the technology in a better way, and for the benefit of the society, and obviously for the businesses as well. So that's why it's also important for education sector to also get on the bandwagon and start utilizing AI into their operations, and for student mentoring, for admissions purposes, for document understandings. Different kind of use cases are there, and it can be like a lot of automation can be implemented along with AI, use of AI, because ultimately the whole objective is to have business centric or user centric benefits rather than just using the technology. So that's why I think it's the right time to implement it.
Lovely.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you, Greshma ma'am and sir, for shedding light on why that is after post-pandemic is the perfect time for schools to begin integrating AI into their operations and student mentoring programs. In my opinion, also with the rapid advancements in AI technology, schools now or any educational institution have a unique opportunity to harness AI's power to not only improve daily management but also to create a more impactful student-centered learning environment. So
Right.
now, with this, moving towards our next question. How can AI assist teachers and administrators in their daily tasks, reducing their workload while enhancing the quality of education?
So first thing, let's start with teachers, okay? Because and one thing that all of them, most of the teachers, I would say, dread or like are very fearful of are the grading and assessments, right? They
Yes.
fear that okay, we might make a mistake, or are we kind of assessing it properly, assessing them properly, and grading them properly. So when you have so much of fear, you are bound to make mistakes. So why not take the help of AI, where the grading system and the whole assessment can be automated. So they can AI powered tools can create multiple choice questions for you, so they can create the question paper for you. You can give them assignment, and most importantly, also kind of take help of AI to give feedback to the students, right? Feedback which is more impactful, which is more, because I see that when the PTM happens, right, when the parent is sitting right in front of you, many teachers forget a lot of important points that needs to be communicated to parents, or the ones that have to go in the report card. Okay, because let's face it, teachers are also burdened with hell lot of jobs. So when you use AI, it helps you kind of give the feedback, create the right question paper, the right assessments, and also helps you in grading, so that you don't miss out on anything. The human error kind of reduces, and we ensure that we are giving the right feedback which is more meaningful to the child. where the child can work upon. So that is one thing that I feel AI teachers can use AI. Second is classroom management and lesson planning. Now, when I say classroom management, there are amazing tools that we've used, wherein you can actually gamify the entire, the whole process of managing your classroom. And nowadays, children love when it comes to gamification, right? So that is one thing that teachers can definitely use. And when it comes to lesson planning, what I would recommend teachers is that you can always take ideas and take inspiration and take help of AI to generate new ideas. Okay. And then see how you can tweak it into your, setting. I'm not saying that you just copy paste what AI is giving and do, and, just do it. You know your children better. But why not at least take some ideas? Because sometimes, again, teachers, what happens is we are doing the same thing every year, the same portion is being covered, the same age group that we are dealing with. Right now, teachers at times become robotic, and they fall upon their previous year's lesson plan. So sometimes 5 years old lesson plan are used now, but look at the generation that you're catering now. They're born in COVID and they're born in this digital world, so you cannot use the 5 year old lesson plan again with them. So what you can, what we can always take ideas and then, tweak it as per our setting and our lesson plan. So that is something that can help. Two more tasks for administrations would be, streamlining lot of your administrative tasks. For example, school, when the school starts, the school year is full of events, and most of our administrative admin staff, really gets tired when it comes to event. So AI can actually help in, event planning, logistics, and all of it. If we can take help of them, it will be easier for admin staff. And second challenge that we also face when admin faces is also resource allocation, right? So that is also something that admin team can use for it. And most important thing that is so crucial in the education industry nowadays, it is the communication between a school and a parent. Okay. I still see the teachers, when we ask them to write emails as basic as writing emails, um, what happens is their intention is not to be rude with the parent. Their intention is to be firm, right, to the parent. But when they start typing the email, and when the other person reads, it comes across as a rude mail. And I'm sure you don't want to do it with your school. So I would say, teachers can take help, administration staff can take help of AI to improve communication, to have some automated responses with parents, so that your tone has always been kind of taken care of. Yeah, so these are some of the things that we are also using AI for in our school.
Okay, lovely. I think that's really great, and she's covered almost like the length and breadth of the
Yes.
use cases. So I'll not delve into that now. So yeah, one very important line which I noticed from Grishmaji's statement is that teachers know the students well, and
Yes.
that will be the case. So you don't need an AI come into picture and deal with students completely. Everything is assistive, has to be assistive, has to be controlled, has to be regulated, has to be trained in a way that we can utilize the benefits, and still it's only assisting.
Hmm.
So whatever you're doing, as the question itself says about daily tasks, so we can definitely use in daily tasks, but for assistance in each and every department, for assistance in each and every like tasks which we're doing. And the length and breadth of those use cases have been already explained. So definitely there's a lot of opportunity to reduce the workload and start using the technology for assistance. Utilize the current power of LLM models to generate a lot of content, to rephrase a lot of content, to get a lot of search and explore the world of content. Definitely. Slowly, as we move forward, we can start thinking about getting the mix of predictive analytics and clustering, etc., to start thinking about how we can do more personalization, and then bring into mix the large language models to generate content which is more personalized, the format of videos, etc. All of that. So that can be done definitely, but ultimate goal has to be that the teachers at the forefront, they are leading the education while technology is assisting them.
You're right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, thank you both of you for explaining how AI can assist teachers and administrators in their daily tasks while enhancing the quality of education. Like Greshma ma'am also mentioned about how they help us through automation, gamification, event management, and by bridging the gap in communication between a child or his parent and between the schools. So, from my perspective, also AI's ability to automate time consuming tasks like grading, attendance, uh, tracking,
Yeah.
and scheduling educators more time to focus on teaching and thus personalize student engagement. So this will in future or now if we integrate AI will reduce the workload and also improve the overall education experience. So now let's dive into our next segment, that is our storytelling session, where we'll explore real life examples and experiences that highlight the transformative power of AI in education. So the first question in the segment is, were there any surprising or unexpected benefits for you, Greshma ma'am, that emerged from using AI in your school's operation or mentoring programs?
I think one thing that we obviously we saw, and we didn't think initially that it will we will have this benefit, but we saw that there was an increase in the teacher and student interaction time. That was one thing we saw, because a lot of their, if you are doing your grading, assessment, worksheets, lesson planning, or even your attendance, all of these using AI, then you do save on, a lot of your time. And that time teachers can use to actually interact with children, which is the most important element. And here, of course, we all know no AI can replace the teachers in this aspect, and this is the most crucial aspect of a classroom, wherein a teacher gets time to really interact with students. So that was one thing that we kind of observed. Second thing, what also happened was there were a lot of decision making that happened that were more data driven. Okay, like small things in school. We kind of generalize a lot of things. If we want to, for example, see how the classroom space is also utilized, we kind of assume that, oh, the space is small, this is not happening, that is not happening. So many timetables, so many periods are not happening. But when you are, and then you take a decision that is not based on data driven, that is more of assumptions, right? Assumptions of educators or the administrators. But we started using kind of AI to kind of get the data of, okay, if we have this space, how is this space used, right? And if we have so many desktop, how are they used, how are the children using their time, how is the timetabling happening, how many free periods children have, all of that we could do it using AI. So our decisions became more of data driven, which otherwise we were assuming things and we were not taking the right kind of decisions. um, and because I'll go back to the first point, because there was an increased teacher and student engagement time or interaction time. We saw that there was more improved emotional support for students. Like teachers were able to really work on the emotional aspect of the students because they had, some time. So yeah, we kind of found these are small benefits, and that we were not expecting, but using AI really helped us, have these benefits.
Okay.
Yep, I think so. Like, because it's mostly aligned. The question is aligned to our experience. I'll give it a pass. But yep, definitely. Like, I totally agree with all the pointers made, and they can be unexpected benefits as well, which is totally true. Because when you start exploring a new technology or anything, not only technology but anything, then there are associated risks, benefits with that particular area of exploration. and there has to be an appetite to explore that and take it in the positive stride, because then we will be able to learn from it and keep on adding. The whole concept of doing proof of concepts is related to that. So we can, when we start implementing strategical vision of artificial intelligence into an organization, that's very important to do piecemeal POCs in different areas and try to understand the larger benefits and the unexpected things which might come out of it. So and basis on the basis of that, we can make judgments on how to like streamline the whole effort, so that it is a synchronized and streamlined process set up for all things which you're trying to do.
Lovely.
Yeah. So, thank you, Greshma ma'am and Ursa, for sharing your insights into the unexpected benefits of using AI in school operations and mentoring programs. In my view, also, as Ursh sir also mentioned, that and Greshma ma'am also mentioned, that the surprising advantage of AI is its ability to reveal trends and insights. And this, if we talk, have gone unnoticed in some cases. So,
Hmm.
this helps school make data driven decisions that improve both academic performance and student well-being. So these insights often led to innovations that enhance the overall learning experiences and environment in ways previously unimagined. So now moving towards the next question. What has been the reaction from the wider school community, like parents, students, and staff, regarding the use of AI to you, Greshma ma'am?
So let's be honest, it has been a very mixed review, especially when it came to education fraternity. I was reading an UNESCO, I think, document by UNESCO, and it said when radio was invented or people started using radio in their life, it was told that people are getting sleep issues because of radio. Okay. and
Okay.
when uh, and when printing press came into the picture, they said people will forget writing. Okay, because now we have printing of paper now, and all of this happened when printing was invented or where radio was invented. And so many years later, we have not lost the habit of writing, neither we have lost our sleep because of radio, right? So, what I mean, there has been a mixed review. There are a set of educators who have seen first-hand benefits of AI and how it has really helped reduce their work. So they are very, very receptive towards AI. But there are set of educators who feel that we are dehumanizing the whole teaching process, and they also feel that if students are using it, okay, they are not thinking critically. So then comes into the picture how and where to use it, instead of blaming the AI entirely. Okay, but I think how smartly educators and parent community and student community use it is more important. I mean, one thing that I keep clarifying every time I have trainings is that, trust me, AI is not going to replace teachers. That no one can replace teachers. So first is that fear has to go out of the window, really. AI is only there to enhance your teaching, to give you more ideas, to understand your children better, to reduce your administrative tasks. But at no point AI will replace teachers, or AI will replace writing, or AI will replace critical thinking. No, it's all about how we use it.
Yeah,
So
definitely, we'll
that's
be more smarter with critical thinking and other things with the use of AI. And so it's we're talking about education sector. So this
right.
actually this problem statement is actually about education, educating people about how it will help and how it will benefit. So even if like I come from a software industry, so like basically if you work on a project and it's a very technical complex project, lots of things here and there are related or unrelated. There are multiple stakeholders coming from the business angle who are not aware about technology, but they're experts of their own areas in the business. So then how things will change, how they perform their business operations, is something which is very important for us to tell them and let them
Hmm.
get convinced about it. So it's like, and I'm talking about a project which is on a very small scale, considering the kind of like the scale of the problem which we are discussing at this point of time. So even in that, we have to educate, we have to train, we have to provide the right kind of information, how it will benefit, what is the point in case to make this happen, and how it will solve your interdependencies as well. So if you have to do it in that way for a smaller project or a program at a larger scale, then this is a very large program which is impacting people across. So the adoption of technology has to come alongside with the kind of training, education, or awareness. Awareness programs should be raised. I think there's a lot happening in this area as well. I also work with certain organizations in the government and the backend side, where a lot of content is being generated to train people about cutting edge technologies. So I'll not
Right.
name like organizations here, but definitely like there's a lot of work which is going on in terms of educating at various levels and providing kind of education or kind of awareness programs or kind of like small content pieces
Hmm.
through people can actually understand. And it's actually at very broad level, like very helicopter shot level, where people can just understand the benefits of it. Because the more you understand about the top level view, then you start getting interested into understanding more about it. So that's how it's being approached. The approach which is being taken by the government is, I'm like seeing it from bit near, so I'm very much interested, and it's very in going in the right direction. It will take time, but
Right.
we will settle on eventually.
Yeah, I think, like you said, awareness and training, these are two important aspects that has to start in schools so that, it becomes more acceptable and receptive in schools. Because there are a lot of, myths about AI, right? So people who have not used it uh, cannot comment about AI, is what I
Yeah.
feel. So if you've not used it, and then you can't spread, like when NEP came in also, there were a lot of myths about NEP, right?
Hmm.
There were
Hmm.
a lot of because interpretations are very different of different people. So I think any new thing that comes into, be it an AI, be it a new education policy, I think as educators, instead of just listening and kind of following it blindly, you try it and experiment it, be aware of it, get yourself trained and see. Then if you feel that no, it's not helping out, you have, by all means, you can back out. But yes, awareness and training is important.
And that's very true, because this cognitive bias will definitely happen. Each and every human being is different. They have different backgrounds, different learning, different processes they have seen, different lives they have seen. So, like, whatever we reflect is actually
Hmm.
coming from the background which we had, or like how we have taken it forward, how we have thought about it. And it's similar to implementing like world class AI solution as well. Because if you're starting to implement an AI solution, there is a team which is like super resourceful. They are like they've got right kind of skill sets in developing machine learning technology, use cases, products, etc. Everything. But that is a small set of people trying to
Hmm.
cater to a problem which is being faced by a very large set of people. So in that case, if you're trying to implement that sort of technology or product, then the cognitive bias of the developers will definitely creep in. It is bound to happen. So it's very important while you're developing AI products, particularly. It's important in all the products to do some user research and good user research to reflect back into the softwares. But particularly in AI, because we're trying to mimic the human intelligence, it's very important to have that reflection from different type of segments. So yeah,
Yes.
the user research is very much mandatory, and that's how we can. I was just trying to answer the cognitive bias which creeps in.
Yes. Lovely.
Amazing, amazing. So, thank you both of you for sharing the community's response to the integration of AI in schools. And like Greshma ma'am told about her experience, that in the initial days of curiosity or hesitation, we can receive hesitation in the initial days, but by educating or training parents, students, and staff, they will also recognize the value of AI that it brings in personalizing education and how it streams operations for them. And as the students and their parents will see the tangible benefits of AI, such as improved communication and tailored support, the adoption
Hmm.
of AI will become more widely embraced and appreciated. So,
Yes.
yeah, now moving towards our next segment, that is Visionary Insights. And here we'll explore forward thinking ideas and bold predictions about the future of education with AI. So the first question in this segment is how do you, Greshma ma'am, see the roles of teachers and administrators evolving as AI becomes more integrated into school operations?
Uh, I think one thing that will definitely happen is all these administrative tasks, when they are reduced, the role of administrators will become more strategically focused, because you will have time to do that, right?
Yes, yes.
So that is one role I see, because right now, okay, operations administrations is just okay, procurement, this, that, just managing things. But I see very less admin staff involved in focusing what is actually required, what is the vision of the school, that gets a missed out in their day-to-day daily tasks. So I think one is they will become more strategically focused when it comes to administrators. With regards to teachers, what I see is that now, if AI is more and more enhanced and teachers are trained, in future I see that these routine interaction, why did you make this mistake, you've made a silly mistake here, these small routine interaction, which are these feedback, will somewhere turn to more enhanced mentorship, because teachers will be able to use AI to give feedback, to understand how to give feedback to children, to understand how to give growth mindset feedback to students, right? So I think there will be more enhanced mentorship. The teachers will slowly become more mentors and less of teachers. Okay, that is one thing. And second, there are a lot of manual processes in the schools. When teachers, correction of books, you say, or writing things, or writing question paper. There are a lot of manual processes. I think slowly teachers will become innovative practitioners, because they will, if once they start using AI more and more and more, development happens in AI. I think they will become more innovative practitioners. So this is the way I see the roles kind of being changed in terms of school, in schools.
I totally agree with the same, and like it's so they'll have more time to be in the mentorship roles, and the administrators will be more visionaries, where because they are actually still, but they have been like loaded with a lot of other things to, and that reduces the ability to fire that superpower which they have, because ultimately this particular community which is doing their work, the teachers, administrators in the education sector, they actually the building the blocks for the nations, where a lot of like knowledge is powered, knowledge is trained to people who start creating differences at a later stage. So if you see a cumulative effect of all of that, we'll have like more focused and more like well trained in terms of like more focused people trained with more focused efforts, getting into the places where they need to go and start making a lot of difference. Ultimately, if you see that level of scale of efforts being put into the right direction, and the productivity coming out from those many people who are getting trained every year and year, you see, you can actually think about like what sort of productivity you're looking after in say 5 to 10 years time.
Yeah. So, very rightly mentioned, AI will definitely shift the roles of educators and administrators towards becoming facilitators of learning and mentorship rather than just managers of tasks once they start using AI. And with AI handling routine administrative duties, teachers can focus more on creativity, emotional intelligence of the students, and
Yes.
guiding students through personalized learning paths. So, yeah, it is very important for them to realize the importance of AI. So, moving towards our next question, in what ways do you both foresee teachers and AI working together to create more dynamic and effective learning environments?
Hmm. I think we've kind of mentioned where teachers can use AI, but I think here I would like to take an opportunity to share some of the AI tools that teachers can use. So when it comes to grading your routine assignments, AI tools like Grade Scope, viewers who are kind of watching, you can take a note of it. Can handle a lot of grading of test and assignments with very clear and very objective answers. So that is one tool that you can use. If you're looking at classroom management, or increasing student engagement, or you are looking at tracking of students progress, not just the assessment, but your from June, from day 1 to day 60, what is the progress. So you can actually use Power School or Classcraft AI tools like them to kind of understand classroom management, engagement, and track progress. If you're looking at, like Rushali said, personalized learning path, if you're looking at implementing personalized learning in your classroom, then we have tools like Dreambox that can adapt lessons to each student's level. And then in the subjects, like especially like math, but teachers will still have to having, it's a disclaimer, you will have to still review it. You cannot just take that information and share it. Okay,
Hmm.
it's important to review it always. Then for scheduling, timetable is one big task for all the administrators and all the school principals. So we've used timetabler AI tool, so that can really help you in scheduling and coordination. If you're looking at educational data, for your insights, the data driven decision making, you can use Google Data Studio for it. So here are some tools that you can actually use AI for. But a disclaimer, please do not use AI to provide emotional support or to facilitate class discussion. That for that, teacher has to be there. You can use an AI to take down the notes and pointers, but the discussion has to be facilitated by the teachers, right? You can create your lesson plans and all of that, but when you have to customize it for your, I'll give you an example. This is one very common example that I give. I was going for an observation, and in nursery, in early years, you have community helpers, right? So
Hmm.
the teacher was teaching policeman, and the teacher would have taken a lot of ideas from internet or AI and all of that. And teacher was actually, I went there, and this is a school in Bangalore, and teacher was showing them the emergency number of US. So what happened is teacher has just copy pasted the idea.
Hmm.
Okay, she could have taken the idea and reframe it that, okay, the you could have she could have taught the Indian emergency number. So that's when I say that customize it based on the region and based on your students. Please, by all means, take all the ideas. So, and do not use, you can always take the feedback from AI. As in terms of when you want to give feedback to the students, you can take it. But again, you have to customize it and see if it really aligns with the student or not. So, and do not let AI give the feedback to the students. It has to be you. So if you are able to understand where to use AI and where not to use AI, I think we will be able to create more dynamic and effective learning environments.
I think the last point was actually like a bullet shot to the point. Like so it's totally to the point. We have to use, and we have where we don't have to use. So it's not only about the use cases or like how we are implementing artificial intelligence, but also when we are creating solutions. Even the people who are creating solutions, the suppliers, the vendors, etc., they need to be very careful about how they are building it up and what they are not. What they should think about that they should be not building into that area. So that is very important. That is where regulations also come into picture. So I also foresee like AI working hand in hand with teachers, as they can like those both these I'll say communities can collaborate together and like work on the with a like common goal and vision, with AI in the backseat assisting the teachers to provide the right kind of assistance at each and every stage, providing the right kind of information, providing insights, providing analytics, providing like sources, providing understanding, maybe empathy, emotions, etc. But nevertheless, there has to be control. There has to be a stakeholder who's managing everything, or stakeholders who are managing these kind of insights being generated by artificial intelligence, and then these are processed in a human way back to the back to the users. So yeah, I also see it going in that way, and we have a long road to cover. It's just a start. As
Yes.
this yeah, yeah, definitely, so tools are being developed, and there'll be a lot of things which are coming up in this industry. There's a lot of opportunity considering the level of automation which was there, and the level of appetite which is in this particular sector, because the sector belongs to educators, and educators have like they impart learning, so they'll definitely look forward to they take the technology forward as well.
Thank you. That's really great. And thank you for sharing how teachers and AI can collaborate to create more dynamic learning environments. And thank you, Greshma ma'am, for giving us the names of various tools that will help in enhancing the learning of students. And as you mentioned, the names of different tools, the AI has come so far that the features of all the tools that you have mentioned, we can get that in one tool itself. So we have
Awesome.
come that far in AI. So, yeah, definitely now AI will serve as a powerful tool for teachers only, and it will provide real time daily lessons based on individual student needs. So, as we come to the end of this insightful session, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to both of you, Greshma ma'am and Ursa, for sharing your expertise and experiences on how AI is transforming school operations and mentoring. Your visionary insights have given us much to think about as we look forward the future of education. Thank you for your participation today, and we look forward to continuing this important conversation.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Rushali, and thank you, Rishmaji, for joining today.
Thank you.